it requires such mental...
Oh, Johnny, God. Let it out, bro. Let it out. Go.
It requires such mental stamina.
I'm crying.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett, our mission specialist.
Sorry, what mission?
This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet.
Oh my God.
Fortunately for us, all these species exist in one isolated place. Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
More or less?
Terrified. I was terrified and I was like watching. I remember the scene where I saw it in the theater, and I remember the scene where they first see the Brontosaurus or Brachiosaurus in the field, and the John Williams music comes in, and my mind was blown. I was like, how did they shoot with actual dinosaurs? It was just so amazing looking. I mean, like nothing any of us had seen before, and the whole audience was having the same collective feeling. Like, this is just real. It was extraordinary. Yeah.
Do you remember how old you were?
Like 10? 9,
I was
10?
not 10. I was not 10. But I will say...
You were 9, 10.
One thing that I think is very unique about Jurassic, in the world of Jurassic, is it's very rare that you get to experience terror and awe at the same time, like simultaneously. And I think that's what's very unique about this franchise.
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
Maybe we should make it quick.
I think humans have a ego that means that they can't possibly fathom a world without human existence. And of course, dinosaurs did exist before us, and it's deeply humbling to think about prehistoric era.
I'm sorry?
Sorry. Something just happened in my brain. Very quickly. The prehistoric era. And yeah, and I think there's space to really feel scared, and the magnificence of these creatures, knowing that they don't exist anymore, that feels, that creates an incredibly sort of thrilling.
We put ourselves in a place where we don't belong. Survival is a long shot.
That's kind of our specialty.
She's scared. She's scared of.
I think you're always dealing with the challenge of focusing in on the moment and trying to, first and foremost, make sure that you believe yourself. So there's always some reason for that to be difficult, and I think green screen, blue screen work is definitely difficult, but Scarlett was saying earlier today, you could be doing some $5 million independent film and doing some really beautiful scene, and there's 15 people you have to pretend like are not there. So it's always hard to me, no matter what genre or way in which you're shooting it.
Yeah, I think you're always creating a kind of, you're making an unreal situation feel real.
There was a source. We found it?
No, it found us.
I remember doing all that in a day and a half. And that felt like a lot to do. And unfortunately, we weren't, because of how these things dictate that you shoot them, we weren't really allowed to really work together.
Yeah, you
in
were
that
up
section.
top.
Did it all on your own.
I was
Yeah, you
by
were on
myself.
top by the, like, you were on the upper deck, and then we were all on the main deck. And
Yeah.
so you had to do all of your reactions all on your own.
Yeah.
Like, there was nowhere for
that
us to
20
interact.
minutes of the movie, I was like,
Every time he comes back to Mahershala, that's him on his own, stand alone. And I think you were responding to things we hadn't even shot yet.
yeah.
And
we
you're
hadn't shot
reacting to
any
it.
of
Yeah.
And I would say Philippine was above.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, she
young
did
woman
above.
that plays Nina. So she was there, and my right hand in that situation. But it was very challenging.
But then all of us were all on the deck, and it was insane. We shot it for like 5 weeks, that
That
whole
was
sequence.
a difficult sequence.
It was hard. It was hard. It was one of the harder environments that I've ever shot in.
And
it was just very uncomfortable.
And reordered in the edit, I think, as well. Even to
Yeah.
just goes to show how what's on the page, what you actually end up filming, and how you shoot it. And then there's
Yeah,
a
pieces
whole-
of it are not there, and then other parts were like extended, kind of. It was different. Yeah, it's different than we shot.
Yeah,
But
amazing.
it was tough. That was like where you really needed each other, and that's why I can't believe you did that on your own, because we were all like, there were just days where one of the group of us would be like, ugh, you're like, I just can't go on one more day on this boat. Like, it's just so uncomfortable. And then we'd all have to get behind the other person and make up a little song.
That's
to
what
rally them.
Jack, the first lady, used to say. Remove the stairs. And that's when you'd remove the stairs from the boat, and you wouldn't be able to get off the boat.
And then
until
all
you
the
finished.
actors looked like a dog with a cone around their head, just like, The stairs would go, and we'd all get so sad.
What the hell are those?
They're helping the mosasaur defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
He learned how excited, or how much enthusiasm I had for Jurassic. He, I think, was in disbelief. He's like, "Really? You want?" I was, "Yes, I do. This is my dream. It's my truest, deepest dream to be in this franchise." And I honestly was shooting a film I was directing when all of this was kind of coming up, and it was very hard to. Obviously, I was very focused on the work that I was doing because I was directing a film, and had this going on in the background, and it was a just crazy moment. The two things happening at the same time. It was like something I couldn't let out or get overly excited about because it was so distracting.
But we would do like really long days wading through mangroves in Thailand, and then we'd all be going back to bed to get some rest. And Scarlett would come in the next day and be like, "Yeah, I've just been in the edit for Ellen the Great." It was unbelievable to see that
crazy.
level of.
But it was great though. That
Yeah.
part was. It actually gave me. It was a nice thing to have after a day on the boat, like just struggling, because then it was like, oh, I'm doing this thing that's very, was very tender and intimate, and it was a good sort of.
It almost makes me think of the different minds that like Spielberg had to be working on Jurassic and Schindler's, and what you were doing in terms of filming Jurassic and.
Did he write that at the
directing.
same time?
He was working on them
Both?
at the same time.
back to back.
Oh,
Straight to
really?
Jurassic.
Wow.
So the edit of Jurassic was happening whilst he was
He would be
shooting.
jumping.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is extreme.
Yeah.
That's extreme.